Hello guys. Welcome to my first ever theory about Boss Baby's TV series main corporation, and the true villain behind it appears to be the former main villain out of all the charters. Theodore Lindsay Templeton Ted Jr. Something about Baby Corp is dark. Something meaningful about it makes me uncomfortable and makes me feel bad. I'm talking about the babies themselves. The babies are made in a secret corporation run by babies. Sounds like the same thing Boss Baby says in the movie series episode 1. The factory makes the babies upstairs. But where? Where does this lead to? Because at the end of the second episode, things take a more darker turn for the Boss Baby being the actual villain in the show than being the hero in the show itself. J.P. Carliak's Boss Baby is going to murder Tim. Tim isn't safe with Boss Baby. I know this sounds crazy, but think about it. Boss Baby doesn't let Tim get away with his actions for how liberal unquote by Stacy. And what's worse, Stacy handcuffs Tim to the couch. Okay. There is clearly something wrong with the second episode. First off, Stacy has her arrow made by cardboard sticks, and she attacks her enemies with them. But why handcuffs? Stacy is a very good enemy to Tim in the episode, because she knows how to treat an enemy the way she was treated in the company to do. Kids can be arrested with brutal punishment consequences laid by the babies in the company. What makes it even worse, Boss Baby doesn't even help Tim after he immediately gets injured by falling down the stairs with serious injuries. He doesn't get punished for it. He was originally supposed to blame it on Tim. But instead, Tim of course saved him from being almost exposed to Ted and Janice. But Boss Baby is a criminal mastermind who is in charge. It's clear that Boss Baby is a very dangerous baby in the Templetons. And even though it's a very dangerous one to be in the company, Boss Baby is a very powerful baby. And he can be immortal to any damage, but he needs to present himself as a good baby to Ted and Janice, and to brutally punish Tim in some form. Now what about Baby Corp itself? Let me go back to that. Stacy was traumatized by Boss Baby when he said it's like kindergarten in the very first episode Scooter Busky. But Stacy was traumatized by the actual kindergarten her parents got her into in the show right after the events of the movie. So what happened after? Stacy saw how horrible the teachers were in the kindergarten, so Stacy eventually became a fighter to get revenge on the teachers she was taught by. She was punished when she burned her kindergartner class down. Now what about the triplets? They were officially brothers in the film, so how would they sign up for a relationship with a company that's in the sky? The triplets' parents don't know that their sons are actually hiring for a secret company, so what does that mean about Jimbo? He's a big baby with his parents. Yes. Okay guys? Jimbo has unseen parents in the show, but Jimbo is actually the main secondary hero. He only wants to protect Tim from the evil danger that Boss Baby gets himself into the dark plot of the show. Now what about Baby Corp itself? They actually train babies in the company, who are created by the baby maker itself, and the babies who doesn't comply with the rules of the company. You have to laugh at your favorite tickle spot, to be avoided by joining the more sinister side of the family business of Baby Corp, which involves the babies arresting the kidnapped children who were previously abducted by them and taken. We don't actually see what really happens when we see the main villain in the storyline of the show, Bootsy Calcio. Let's say that he actually has a problem with the babies themselves. Yeah. He wants to kill the babies and rule the world with kittens if he was successful in the plan. But I'm guessing he eventually died of old age being thrown into jail in the county state prison where it's in the show in that interaction video on Netflix. Now what about Tim? Tim is the main hero of the show, providing goodness for his brother, but not actually knowing he was being imprisoned by his baby brother Ted. Ted is actually a very evil baby in the series. He even made a threat in the movie saying, "Be quiet, stay out of my way, or there's going to be cutbacks." Meaning he is the anticipated villain of the movie, and not Francis. But what's about Puppy Co? It's unknown what happened. He probably was raised right, and probably killed off by his enemy Boss Baby himself. Now discussing Boss Baby himself, and its third villain in the show in my perspective. Mega Fat CEO Baby. But here's the thing. Who is the actual villain in the show? Boss Baby Ted is in fact a demonic creature who clearly says in the first episode, it's like Lucifer's javelin. Meaning he wants to actually perform a satanic ritual against the Templeton and feed his family to the devil himself, as he feeds on souls, so yeah. And about 3 years later in the movie timeline, Boss Baby controlled Tim, his evil demon, and killed off Carol, but pretended to be a good guy in saving Tina and her granddaughter Tina from danger, so that means, in theory correct, he is the main villain on the show, including the movies of the Loud House movie saga, but hey, theory, a film theory. And cut.